So, man, we're doing it again. This time a little different, a little bit of a different setting.
Definitely. We in the studio.
We in the studio, and it's episode 3.
Yeah, episode 3.
Episode 3. Sweat Equity. I am podcast producer, personal brand coach, Audio Jones, and this is Sweat Equity. And here's the host,
definitely
the marketing guru, the boy, Abebe Lewis.
Hey man, I just be trying to drop knowledge, and the reason why I created Sweat Equity because there's so many people out here has put so much sweat equity into what they do. You know what I'm saying? And sweat equity is not always money.
Facts.
It's time. It's your thoughts. It's what you're adding to it. You know what I'm saying? Then eventually you can build up a lot of sweat equity. Then it becomes like equity. You know what I'm saying?
I would like to harken back to something we were talking about in pre-production.
Yeah.
And I said, he about to start talking his shit. He was like, where basically everybody can't do what you do, where you can be dynamic in terms of your input.
Definitely.
Because the equity you done built. So
100%. The time, the experience, the mistakes, that's sweat equity. You know what I'm saying?
And I wouldn't even say that is a different necessarily input. It's just that you've bought the equity to allow you to say, I can balance out other things in my life because I did the hard work already.
Yeah.
I got the relationships. I've done the work in the streets. People know you for what you do.
100%. And I've seen these projects come through. You know what I'm saying? I've seen a young Trick Daddy. I've seen a young Pitbull. I've seen a young different people. I've seen all these young artists come through the door and blossom and become. I seen a young Trina. I seen a young, you know what I'm saying? So when I say sweat equity, to me, like seeing the different now, the new version of that with the Young Miamis and the eye candies and all the.
Because you got the doc coming.
Yeah, I got the doc series coming. I got a lot of footage throughout my years of putting sweat equity with guys like DJ Khaled, with a lot of local producers that are huge producers now. And it's not just one market that I work in. I work in the Jamaican market, the Caribbean market, because my dad's in a circle. Make Reggae Irie again. I work in the hip hop space, the trap space. I work in the Latin space. So that's the greatest thing about being here in, Miami. You get to work in all those different spaces. You know what I'm saying?
I think we should do a challenge for new fans.
Yeah.
Go and watch pieces of content, specifically other podcasts, and see how many times your name pop up.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, man. Drink Champs done mention me 4 or 5 times.
I had to tell you, I was like, they talked about you the other day. You was like, clip it up.
That's sweat equity, man. Like when Miami was developing our music scene, in a sense, and before me was my father, Inner Circle. They owned a pressing plant here in Miami where they pressed Luke records. They had a vinyl.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Vinyl press. So because before the streaming and before all the other stuff, people were selling their vinyls. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
so
Pops was on his shit.
That's why he and my uncle in the circle, they learned through so many different parts of the music business. You know what I'm saying? From some vinyl records, CDs, to streaming, to cataloging. It's just they've seen the elevation, the evolution of the music. You ever seen the thing where they showed the gorilla walking?
The man. And
that's the music business, and they see it is grown. It's metamorphosed. It's went different ways. But the main thing you got to do is keep up.
You got to watch your father's journey.
Mm-hmm.
Did they experience the hardships as like signing? The stereotypical, I signed a bad deal.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody makes those mistakes, but through time, those deals get elongated. You know what I'm saying? They just get abolished.
They get a little bit better.
They get abolished where you may sign a 5-year bad deal. But if he signed a 5-year bad deal, maybe that was 40 years ago. So he had time to rectify and fix those things. Some of our smartest artists, they make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to have mentorship. You got to have sweat equity.
Absolutely.
And be around the right people that can stir you in the right direction. And that's what this podcast is all about. And if you follow our journey, you'll meet a lot of people that put a lot of sweat equity in before they open their businesses or worked with somebody else to learn first and then become who they want to become. You know what I'm saying? I have assistants that worked at our studio, Circle House, that are now major producers. You know what I'm saying? They put their sweat equity going to pick up the food, going to get
let me give y'all, I don't know if he might not like this, but I'm going to say it. Ben got there as an intern.
Yeah.
And I'm signed, I'm 15, I'm 16 or whatever. I'm ready.
Ben Billions. They're talking about Ben Billions.
And he just got there, and I'm young. I don't got a car. I don't know how to drive. He's like, "Yo, Ben, you can take Ty home." And I'm like, and then we get back, we double back. This guy's making beats for the weekend.
Everybody,
you know what I'm saying? He's going crazy, and I'm like, yo, you have to put in that time
because you don't know where that artist or that producer or that person's going to be. He may end up to be your boss. Shit, man, Ben may be my boss one day.
I took a meeting with Ben.
Exactly. And then did he remember when he dropped you home?
Nah, we ain't talking about that.
Okay, but I'm saying, but just that's that sweat equity.
Yeah.
When you see each other, like when you playing basketball and you see somebody on a high school level.
Yeah.
Then you guys see each other on a college level.
Yeah.
Then you see each other in the NBA. It's a different, like, you know, like you look at like.
It was definitely, you know, it was a respect for, you know, it was a respectful situation because, you know, I acknowledged I got to see him come in as an intern. Mm-hmm. And back in the day, BB would put you through a boot camp because he's trying to get you guys ready because he done seen it.
And I'm going to be the nicest guy compared to the client or the person you end up working for. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be nice. Even though I was hard, there's going to be days when your boss or like graduating from me is going to be meaner or him having a bad day.
Yeah.
So I'm just preparing you for those things to keep yourself going. You know what I'm saying?
You saw it in real time where
100%.
These creatives are just that.
Yeah.
They're creatives. They don't always have to think about customer service. And they're the focus, they're the star. And that does come with, you know,
a lot of other things.
You know,
you want to create your relationship with that artist. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're the smallest person in the room and you're the guy going to get the food or taking the food orders, and if a person's working for like a 4 or 5 day stint, know what the guy wants. Oh man, I know he likes food from this place. Oh, I know they like this. I know they always be a step ahead and you're going to win if you're climbing the ladder. You know?
Who would you say is one of your top, like, super successful engineers came through your boot camp? Like, you look now and you be like, he did it.
Man, I would say I got two right now that are still with me. One is Nigel.
Okay, I love Nigel.
Who's mixing all of the hitmaker stuff, the Tinks, and he's killing it right now. Ty Dolla Signs. Then Irwin, another one of my guys, who's also, I have a crew of people called Florida engineers, and they're part of my Florida engineers.
Right.
But Irwin is killing it. He won a Grammy with the Kendrick Lamar and Kodak Black song that we did over there at the Mecca. But it's just like their work ethic, their understanding of plugins, but it's also the sweat equity that they put in before, going to get the food, understanding the client. That's the main thing you got to do is understand the client, or you got to understand the, let's say, even if you're selling music, understand who you're selling this to.
Yeah.
Understand who's going to buy it. Is this a motivational thing? Is this something to listen to when I'm down or when I'm sad or I want to go to sleep? Or there's different genres and different, like people make fun of elevator music, but it makes a lot of money because all the hotels play elevator music. They can't play Get Crunk in the lobby of your top hotel. You know what I'm saying? They can play it in their,
that might be cool.
They can play it in their lounge. But they, you know what I'm saying? They got to play that mood music. Yeah. And when you think about it, people think, you know, there's a genre for everything. And if you understand that.
It's mood.
It's mood.
You hit on it. A good engineer is not just technically technically equipped, but he also is equipped with understanding how to create the environment and the mood. Like a good engineer probably gonna go and get the sage because he know this person like the sage,
or a candle, or the proper microphone, or learning how to create that sound. Like, you know what I'm saying? Learning how to, you know, like not emulate what's out there because, you know, people listen to an industry standard, but you can emulate something but still put your sauce on it. Like
Yeah.
everybody makes buffalo chicken wings, but maybe somebody make it. They had a little
But you
hot,
know, yeah,
hot
you know,
sweet. They had a little. This is buffalo hot
Is
sweet.
Hooters or is, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I get you. I get you. It's like you got to have your signature touch, and you know. All right. So what about producers? Because I know you done.
Producers, Ben. You know what I'm saying? Was very exceptional. Diego Ave. He produced. He used to work with Rico Love.
Okay.
And
okay.
He just graduated from that point, and he produced the Florida Georgia Line song along with Rico.
The country song.
Oh, yeah. Say no more. But I'm saying, but he was just being at the right place at the right time, and I saw something in Diego. And then Rico, who was working with me, he saw something even deeper in Diego. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you got to know. But Rico's a guy that put so much sweat equity in the music business that he can look at a person. And I would guarantee Rico within 30 minutes to an hour being in the studio with a person, he can kind of like give that person a synopsis about themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been around so long. We've been in the studio so long. We see how the top engineers work. Not everybody works the proper way. There's a lot of unorthodox things that people do, but it's what the end result You've
seen the dynamics, you've seen the extremes, you've seen the artists that are just a pleasure to work with.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've seen, we ain't not gonna say no names, but I'm sure you've
seen the headaches. But at the end of the day, if a guy's giving you a headache and a hit, that's different. A guy's giving you a headache and no hit. You know what I'm saying?
I got to see it firsthand, and being in the space, and we won't say no names, but I've seen how hard it is to be an engineer. Where I've seen one of those cats be like, "Man, I'm about to cry because this producer is
just on me." Maybe the producer is having a bad day.
Yeah,
himself. You know what I'm saying? So, and then it turns out he turns his bad day on you. So you have to learn how to move the room, and it's almost like they say, excuse me, like barbers or therapists. Engineers are like the same thing.
You know, that's crazy. And that's true.
And they have to read the room, and it's like they do the most work in a sense. Where the producer and the songwriter and everybody don't get me wrong, but far as like understanding, the mood that everyone's in to uplift the mood. Maybe it's in the room and everybody's like, bad day. Then the engineer just walk in, mustard. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, and everybody starts laughing. No. That one thing changed the entire mood of the thing. Now everybody's up. Now everybody's vibrant. That's why.
Do they teach that at Full Sail or no?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure they teach at Full Sail or SAE, but definitely it's a class. Like I would like to reach out to Full Sail. I'd like to reach out to SAE and
we call it like studio etiquette type of training, etiquette
or like a master class to show them right before you get in the room. Like, here's what you're going to endure, and here's what decisions you got to make as a person to control and tame your emotion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Knowing that you are the, how do you say, the next in line. Like you are, how can I climb up this ladder and make it make sense? You just got to be in that spot. I seen Tom Brady say something where he said when he first got to the league, or I think it was college, I'm not sure, but he was just saying like he was only getting one snap a day or two snaps a day. You know what I'm saying? In practice. So he said to himself, listen, he was discouraged about it, but then I guess he talked to some people or he looked into himself and he says, I'm going to make them two snaps the best two snaps of my life. You know what I'm saying? Then the two snaps turned into four. Then you know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to look into yourself and see what's happening.
If that's your only opportunity, be as exceptional as possible.
Because you're on the team. Yeah. And that's the hardest thing to get, is to be in the game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're the lowest at the totem pole at the studio, but you're at the studio. You know what I'm saying? There are people that are not at the studio.
But let's say the civilians. The civilians.
You know?
Would you say that, because I love where we're going with in terms of potentially having this studio etiquette course. What I found that a lot of my brethren that go to college, they teach theory.
Yeah.
But when you get in the real world, so many of them come back and say, all that shit I learned in college, in the field is totally different.
Yeah.
It's just, this is the real, you know, so I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So we definitely...
now, I've done a couple master classes. I did one with SAE and it was really good. And, you know, I'd love to do some with SAE and Full Sail and really teach the kids what's happening next. You know what I'm saying? Because you got the Atmos where, you know, Apple's doing the Atmos mixes. You got a lot of that stuff, but there is a need for etiquette. You know what I'm saying? Just like with any type of business, like a doorman at a club or a bottle girl, you working at the mall, at a Louis Vuitton store or whatever. You know?
I like that so much because yes, the technical part, go learn Atmos. If you're an engineer, you might as well go. You're going to get paid more, right?
Yeah.
But that etiquette part is key because this is a people business. People do business with people they like.
Yeah.
And if you could be the engineer that get, I won't say dissed, but maybe not treated the most favorably. But you can change that by showing up in the room and providing the energy. Because sometimes...
And then people will look to that. Be like, yo, you don't see it and nobody says nothing. But when you leave the room, the producer speaks to his friend, be like, yo, man, I like that kid, Audio, man. Audio he brought that energy today that I didn't have. And we actually finished the song. And it's just adding that equity, of sweat equity, meaning like maybe you're not the songwriter, but you still added the energy for them to finish that song.
Oh, absolutely.
And people notice that. Don't think people don't notice that. They notice that. They know what you bring to the table. Don't think people don't know. They try to get rid of you and say, oh, get out of here. I don't need you. I'm by myself. But they know. Yeah. They know the value. If you bring in value and they know. You know?
That's a key point. Build value. I mean, sometimes in the most subtle way possible. So, because it's a fine line. You don't want to disrupt and be obnoxious. But I love that idea. Because I think that in terms of engineers, teaching engineers how to become six-figure earners.
Now, back in the days, you really just had to be a great engineer.
Right.
But now you got to be a great engineer, a great therapist, a great mood person to the point where you're going to have to actually, understand and curve your mood because you are in the room with other people that you're trying to grow with. So even if you're having a bad day as an engineer, it's almost like you can't really have one.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Put a smile on.
Or you can't show that emotion. And if you do, you just show it in a different way because you can't spaz out. You can't look unstable. No one's going to want to work with you. No one's going to want to... Everybody has a bad day, but just it's how you mask it.
Yeah.
And how you do it.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy. I appreciate the engineer. I attempted to throw my hat in the ring. Yeah. And then I seen a couple of sessions. I was like, I'm good.
It's a tough thing. It's really a tough thing.
They don't get the flowers they deserve because a lot of you artists don't sound like that automatically. Yeah. It's your engineer has learned and Shopify implements AI first hiring policy.
That's what I told him. It was Shopify. It wasn't LinkedIn. But he's saying like, yo, nigga, if you can't do better than AI, what the fuck I'm hiring you for? Which is a bad thing, but everybody's got to keep up. You know what I'm saying? I'm here in the morning trying to keep up, and my dad trying to keep up too. But
you know what I like about your
it's just the level of his aggression,
his adaptation to AI.
Yeah,
like he's open to it, where other people are like, I would assume your dad would have been like a purist.
Yeah, but you got to keep up, Tyrone.
We back. Let's talk about AI.
Let's talk about AI.
Let's talk about AI. AI is the most useful tool. It's the most revolutionized tool that empowers small businesses to operate like Fortune 5.
In a sense, you know what I'm saying?
I have 2,000 job offers out there. I get 4 Americans come and they work for 2 days.
They finna beat
the strawberries and the oranges is rotting on the tree. No white man going in no strawberry field to pick strawberry, bro.
Hey, Pop, right. Hey, it's just, y'all are not, Americans are not going to do blue collar work. That's a fact. It's.
You said worse black.
I ain't messing up Berkeley, man. Shit,
but they don't even know how to build their own communities. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can say this and that, but look at Doral. Look at Doral, dog. You can't front on what they built. They have a full infrastructure. You can be a small business and open it in Doral. And if you're Latin, a small business, you can grow. Name me an area as a black business that you can grow.
Atlanta.
Atlanta's the only place as a black business you can go. Look at the girl with the slutty vegan sandwiches. She lost her business and now she getting it back. Like, so she was really smoking mirrors because she was lying to us in a sense of saying like she's successful when she wasn't successful. But the turkey leg hut, it looked successful, but it wasn't successful. Not to disrespect, we're not putting this on, but not disrespect E-Class, but finger licking.
But let me ask you a question. What is black culture?
What is black culture? I don't know. I got to ask my dad that question. What is black culture?
What is black culture?
In terms of what?
Black culture from a general... So in the marketplace, they generalize us, right? So what is black culture?
Accurate. Yeah.
And okay, when Kodak Black and all these guys, they don't go into a dealership and negotiate to buy the car. They got a guy, they give him 50 or 100,000 and the guy give him any car he want. But there's no interest rate check.
Come on,
there's nothing.
boys.
But you have to drive a Phantom. You have to drive a Bugatti. You have to drive something to make a man believe that you are way up in the sky.
Southside, Mercedes and Miami Gardens, they well, I don't know if you want to tell this story, but they wouldn't even take his money. Southside. When he went to Miami Gardens, he went to Miami Gardens, he tried to buy a car, they were like, man, prove it.
He probably tried to buy it cash. Yeah, and they probably didn't know he's a producer.
He's a cash guy.
But they don't know he's a producer, and he made the money legitimate.
And that's crazy.
Yeah, but the way he looks, and I guess the way he brings, and they probably got investigated for cash before the place, the Mercedes. Yes.
And it took off. And who running Miami now? It's Spanish and white.
Yeah, wait till you see. Listen, this weekend I drove past the stadium, where the soccer field is. Man, they almost done.
Let me tell you something.
They almost done. When that drops, and then you got the FIFA, the US Open. My dad's right. We are a destination. We're not a place where we used to, like, how do you say? We used to grow the fruits and grow everything. Now people just come and just pick them, and they're planting new plants.
That's not our commodity.
You know what I'm saying?
Our commodity is experience.
Yeah.
The commodity of Miami is about the experience, because what we export to the rest of the country and the culture is experience. Because nobody could, unless you go to North Florida and then it's oranges. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Clothes and say he never designed it for black people. But black people take on to Tommy. It was like an explosion.
You know what I noticed too? Yeah. Black people too, when they can't get into a club, there's a club that they don't want them there, they want to go there even more. Like you know what I'm saying? Like there were certain clubs on the beach that I'm not going to name.
It's called FOMO. It's FOMO.
Yeah, that's the black way. That's the black culture. It's not with everybody, but that is like the culture. You know,
I think we gonna speak truth to power, and some of y'all want to be the part, but is that really what you want?
Where's the unity?
Where's the unity?
Yeah.
That really trying to help the business.
Locally,
there's none of them.
Timbaland got behind Suno.
Yeah. No, there's a few, but it's like, well, it's not like a lot. You know what I'm saying?
But is it helping?
Yeah. Timbaland and Swiss Beats are helping because Versus reenacted.
No.
Versus put.
I'm talking about Timbaland getting behind AI with Suno when he know the least producers, the producer community that least beats for $30. He now is getting behind Suno, who is already in a current lawsuit, saying this company is great, it's amazing, it's the future. So what?
Suno is the voice AI company.
No, it's the one that could generate a whole song
with the voice and everything,
beat, song, everything. Okay. So he took he disrupted the economy for young black producers.
Yeah, but producers, period. But remember something: you cannot copyright something.
You can't copyright it. Yeah, you can't copyright it.
So image and likeness is one thing. Then musical composition is a whole lot. You can copyright the music, all right. I was looking at the legal case with the guy Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
Marvin Gaye them sue Pharrell them. Marvin Gaye Foundation youth them sue Pharrell for
Ed Sheeran won it.
Lines.
I think so, right? Yeah.
They sued for blurred lines, right? And they won that case.
They kind of stole that one.
When they sued Ed Sheeran for Let's Get It On, you know what Ed Sheeran did?
Put the guitar, pulled out that guitar.
I went into court
and showed them.
1645.
Exactly.
25 songs.
It's music theory. It's like how many chord progressions is, you know what I'm saying?
In the key of C, 1645, C, A minor, D, G. Or whichever you wanted, the C, E, F, G. Whichever way you want to put it in whatever key.
It's only so many ways.
He sang 20 songs to the same progression.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
So he proved his point.
He proved his point is that you can't copyright chord progressions.
You can't.
You can't. You can't. It's
you can copyright a melody.
It's nonsensical, right? Because melody has harmonies.
Pharrell, give it up. He didn't sing that melody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he copied the tempo and that cowbell. That's what they say.
Yeah.
But really, it was all to me and to music people was a feeling.
It is
once
a vibe.
That song came on, you already thought about Marvin Gaye.
If you think about that song,
you think about Marvin Gaye.
Trust me, you got a problem.
So why haven't they sued October London? Because October London is like he says he's the rebirth of Marvin Gaye, and he's doing he sounded like he's doing and all that high pitched stuff.
Well, it's dependent on the composition. What specific composition?
Yeah, he's not copying the composition, but he's copying the likeness. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
in a sense.
Oh, I don't know how that works.
Without using the IP, but he's definitely like walking.
Oh, you mean like the likeness of Marvin Gaye?
Yeah, like he's the rebirth of that soul.
Yes. Donald Trump.
Yes, the best one I ever seen.
Giving him problem, but this and that. So him turning up the immigration. We turning up this. Him grabbing people off the street. So the drama level come up on the right. Now on the left side, he trying to find money because what he want, you're saying no income tax. That's what he's proposing. You know. No income tax. You know. People like that.
I like that. I ain't gonna lie to that. I ain't gonna like that. I like small government.
No income tax to come. The country going to go bankrupt. You cannot carry debt for 30 years like that. This is compounded everything. When you have your house, if you buy a house right now.
Now I did ask the host, did we want to go political? Okay. I guess we're going political.
So there's a thing called amortization.
Yeah, we can. This is the best shit.
You got to try.
Yeah, this is amazing. Oh yeah.
There's a thing called amortization.
This is the best shit.
You put X to the principal and X to the interest. So then look at your life expectancy. If you are a young couple, they say, all right, this couple might stay together for 5 or 10 years, and this one expect. But if it's an older person to them, say 50, 60, they're going to hold the interest rate tighter because it's shit.
But that
formula sell this paper quickly.
But that formula got us into debt, right? So you got economists who created that formula, and we saying, hey, it
they would give it the down payment. They would give it the first month free. Everybody was buying mortgages. So when everybody realized it was so easy to get a mortgage, everybody jumped into it.
Right.
So when the market started to freeze, some people wasn't paying. Some people live in them house 7 months and don't pay the mortgage. So all the money that came in, it wasn't turning. The wheels started to is all right. There's something like what happened with hip hop. This is what happened with hip hop when hip hop became stagnant. Who came into hip hop?
The white boys. Eminem, Jack Harlow, Vanilla Ice.
What happened to hip hop after that? Boom, Eminem.
Yeah.
Boom, the other one.
Jack Harlow.
Rock, boom. Okay. So
MC Search.
You got rappers like the one that married to Kardashian that pulling up.
Travis Scott?
No, Kanye West.
Travis Scott.
Oh.
All right.
Well, it's two of them.
Scott to the hood. Nobody want to hear Travis Scott.
Yeah.
But take him to
Take him to Pembroke Pines where the kids are buying his sneakers because they can afford it because he has the Nike mashup. And they like, you see his sneakers more in the high money areas.
Who is buying Kendrick Lamar?
But that's what Drake is. That's what Drake is saying, Daddy. That's why Drake's saying he's suing them.
I'll give you.
That's why Drake's saying it was bots and because he has a lawsuit against the whole thing because he says they forced the Kendrick Lamar thing.
I'll give you some numbers
no,
that.
That's not what I'm suing him for. I'm suing him for
What? Yeah. It hasn't reached the level of suit yet, but it's going through the judicial process so they can do a discovery to get to a place which is interesting, where you could, I didn't even know you could do this, where it's like, I'm going to file certain motions so I can find out information so later I could sue you. Yeah.
Why is it troubling him so much?
Because he know the truth. Because he
just feels like it wasn't fair. Like it wasn't fair. Like what the marketing, like the way the label marketed Kendrick's song with the whole pedophile thing. And
I think he's like Kanye. Yeah. Like I think he knows
something we don't know probably.
Yeah, right. Because I don't think Kanye be wrong. I think Kanye is
just talking, the way he says it.
He's talking to an audience of 1% that understand like they played some crazy games.
Yeah.
Selling out arenas.
Agreed.
There must be something here that's not.
He did Super Bowl.
I agree.
Because right after Super Bowl last year, Usher hit the road and killing it, and still killing it. Usher, right after Usher left Super Bowl, he went on tour, and he's still on tour right now to this day. It's been a year, and the man is still on tour.
But I'm gonna show you something.
If you book him right, I think he would sell out the arena down.
Oh yes. He would definitely sell out the arena in Miami.
That's the Usher numbers.
Usher. What do you mean? That's after the thing?
This is current.
Okay.
So, how much you think he invested?
Search Kendrick Lamar and see what's his next date. See how many?
No, he's going on tour right now. He's going on tour. It's him, the girl SZA. They got 50 shows booked in the United States. They haven't announced it or put it on sale yet, but the information is out there, the press release and the flyer, and you know.
Let's share the visual where Usher can afford to see a return of 700,000, potentially, roughly, right? Based off his last album release. Mm-hmm. Now, how much was his budget? Because this is business.
I don't know.
Do you think they spent north of $1 million?
Yeah, for Usher, that's
for sure.
Yeah,
and his Gamma, new premiere, flagship.
Yeah,
we pulling all the stops.
Yeah,
this based on sales, based on reported sales, based on how sales are calculated. This was his total gross
first week.
No, altogether.
For what though? For the
album. For the album.
Oh, for the album.
See this is the music.
Yeah, the music.
The music.
And then he made quadruple that or be 10 times that touring.
But this is why it's important for people to understand that streaming is no longer a viable income source.
Yeah, it's a platform.
It's a platform,
yeah,
but not a viable income source.
Yeah, listen, just like the girl said, right? She got 2.5 million things on TikTok, right?
Mm-hmm.
And TikTok took out 1 million of them and said that million wasn't credible.
Or wasn't real, fake people, bots and stuff.
Right. So of the 1 million which she was credited for, she got a check for $1,700. So if a million, if YouTube pay what, 2,000 on a million?
Two to 3,000, but it's dependent on the CPM. So depending on the niche, certain companies pay higher. So
but what I'm saying, if she posted a sandwich menu, just a sandwich menu. That's what she did. She posted a chicken sandwich menu.
That's where equity. You pull it up. We pull it up.
Because what I think she did, she paid some money and got it seeded. Just people hit it, and make it look big.
Yeah.
And then the other people hit it. So she said, of all what she did, she said invested $250 to make the video and do everything. $250.
True.
She invested. And she got a check for $1,700 and gained 17,000 new followers.
Absolutely.
And that was just for a chicken sandwich. That's just a chicken sandwich. So if you making music and you can see, remember, you don't have no expense, So if you can design whatever you're going to design in terms of your graphics and get excitement through that. And if you use bots and start it and make it look big.
But still, there's a lot of people that did that don't, because like you got the kid Bushy B, that has a song exploding.
It has to be organic.
Exploding. The song was done 4 or 5 years ago.
Not only that.
You know what I'm saying? And now TikTok just picked it up out the blue because some influencer did it. So what I noticed with TikTok, when you try to force certain things down the throat, people can see it, pause. Yeah, people can see it. You know what I'm saying? People can see it, but it's like the people got to really like it at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
YouTube is mostly used in the country just because of internet. With TikTok, somebody will sit down, look at Roger. He will sit on TikTok for a whole day just flicking. We call
that doom scrolling.
I have TikTok, but I scroll more on Instagram because my intelligence. Yeah. To me, TikTok is a bunch of foolishness. So I just really
TikTok got prayer.
It has various niches.
Yeah.
And if you know how to tap into it.
But they also do more curving, meaning like controlling the algorithms,
I wouldn't say I want to say controlling it. I think if you serve the algorithm will return. It'll give it back to you, and it'll give you access.
I was just running, and I saw Muhammad Ali, right? And Muhammad Ali said, "The fox and the wolf."
You probably gonna have to make him a B mic. You gotta do a B mic.
Muhammad Ali said,
Pop's got to be a B mic for
sure.
The
fox and the wolf. He said the wolf is aggressive. The wolf chases down. But what the fox do? The fox sit to the side and wait. But the wolf and the fox have the same motive to get you.
Facts. Different methodology.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Muhammad Ali said, if I'm there and I look out my door and I see 1,000 white people coming to at me, I'm gonna close the door. Because out of that 1,000 might have 200 of them who love me. But the 800 want to kill me. How am I going to know which is the 200 that want me? That love me. So it's the same thing. The wolf and the fox. So the fox is cunning. The fox stay to the side and watch you and see when they make the mistake. And the wolf is the same thing. So that's what it is in the field. So if a young black man don't understand that the wolf and the fox is out there to get him.
This the gym. It's cool to be the wolf because the alpha wolf, but sometimes you want to be the fox because I'm gonna outmaneuver you. I'm gonna be.
That come with knowledge.
That come with yeah. Experience.
Don't understand the tools that is out there with AI. You know what is going to be happening now? They're going to have robot police. But the police not going to look like a robot, going to look like a regular man.
That is South Beach is using drones. They have drones on every corner.
On the
it's
game.
Up in the sky, filming you. And if you look crazy, they come in. Then they got the face recognition with the drone. So they can figure he's wanted right now.
But listen, you hear what Trump said? You hear what Trump said? Any vicious criminal, whether you're American citizens or not, he's going to send them out of I'm going to pay countries to take them out of the system.
And I like that. Get their ass up out of here.
You know what he's saying now? That's going to be black people time.
So you're going to ship on all the black people, woman?
Anybody who is a violent like a
no.
killer.
Not the black people, niggas. Black people gonna be perfectly fine because.
But look what is happening. Look what is happening.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the Cuban, the Venezuelan, and all of them who vote for Trump, he deporting them first. Now, if you have a tattoo and you look Spanish, you're in a gang.
MS-13.
You understand?
Marasuchi.
So he take a 1918 law, a war powers law, and deport the people. Say, we are at war with Venezuela, and all you want from Venezuela is them oil. And the man said, no, it don't work like that. You have to come and do business with me. But Trump want the man oil. He's selling a permanent resident in America for $5 million. If you have $5 million, you can buy your permanent residence.
Damn.
It's a lot of
Dominican Republic costs $200. $200,000.
But he's charging $5 million. So
that's inflation.
He never tell you, say, he's going to go to the government.
But
he's selling that how much liquor we and Kodak Black pay him to get fired. They pay him at least $1 million.
Yeah. Should the United States have a culture like every other country?
A culture.
No, but listen, remember, they have a thing called TP, you know, TPA. PP, but protective something's there. Protective thing status. I think it's P something, but I don't know exactly lettering of it.
Mm-hmm.
But that was an app that you could put in your phone, apply for this, and then you could come into the country. They allow you to work for 6 months, and after 6 months, they evaluate you.
It's like a work visa?
It's not really a work, it's a status. It's just a status.
Okay.
In that work period, you have to pay taxes, right? So if you're going to work in the field to pick oranges and the man pay that, the man take taxes out your pay and send to the IRS. Now, Trump, go back to the IRS now. I want to find all the people who've been paying them taxes so you can get them address and go for them to send them back out of the country. Now, those people thought that they were all right because they got a protective status and I was paying their taxes. You see what I mean? Same switch upon them.
Yeah, I think that it should be a process where they should be informed that they need to potentially go into the next process, which is get either naturalization or some kind of
300 students that revoke their visa.
Now, I don't like removing great minds, students, scientists.
You take the words out my mouth. You take the words out my mouth.
Yeah.
That must be some form of jealousy. Why would you destroy bright minds?
Yeah, because back in the days, we took the Nazi scientists, and that's how we got the atom bomb. So my thing is, we need those great minds because the American educational system ain't.
American Marco Rubin said, why bring them here, educate them, and then they're going to turn against us? But
yeah.
If you do the right thing, these people will not be like that. But you're doing the wrong thing. You're doing the wrong thing.
Give them give them a pathway.
What that rapper name that come from Morocco? What name?
French Montana.
Okay. Don't he's a rap? Don't the people accept him and he rapping?
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. So don't tell me because man come from somewhere you can't. We ask for something about American culture.
Is Pop advocating for sending French Montana back?
No. He just said they like. They like his music just because he's a different culture.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, because why we don't keep the scientists?
Culture. Now look on the biggest reverse of culture in America. Now black people doing cowboy music.
Yeah, Shabuzi. Southern Soul.
Shit. Wait fresh with the fans, the beats on the ground. We gotta talk about that too. But let me.
How are you going to change that?
You can't change that now. I like the I like the evolution of that with the country and Western. And
I mean, black people.
It's something new and it's something for an older demographic and it's work.
Africa. Yeah, African Americans came up with country
they said
music.
the Florida cowboy was a black.
Yeah,
the Florida cowboy
cowboys were black.
Yeah,
yeah,
especially the Florida ones here, cattling and in the woods and.
Yeah.
But let me finish this with Tyrone, Daddy. I'm gonna call you right back. 2 seconds. His day,
hey,
dog.
some of this we'll keep, some of this we don't.
Yeah.
Hey, Pop.
But let's go back to it.
Pop gotta be a third.
So,
bite.
hey, walking into this, so they just got on the phone with a co-founder of Inner Circle, along with his brother Roger Lewis and Towder Harvey. Inner Circle, the bad boys of reggae. Wonderful 2 years they're having right now with the movie coming back out, The Bad Boys 4, 3 or 4, I'm not sure. The Bad Boys movie 3. It's 4 or 3?
I think it's 4.
Okay. Bad Boys movie.
That's how great it's been.
Wendy's using Bad Boys, for their commercials. For almost close to a year they were using.
My daughter's 13 and she knows the song.
Yeah, no, the song is amazing.
That's
what I'm saying? So they're going on a worldwide tour called Make Reggae Irie Again. And they don't feel like reggae is not Irie. They just want to bring it back to that space.
Well, let's do this for our non-Caribbean, fans. Mm-hmm. What is Irie? What is it?
Catch a vibe. Be good. Like, Irie, like a vibe. Like, like we feeling good. Like, what I'm saying? Like, it's all good.
Just vibe. It's vibing.
It's vibing. Like vibing.
If you from Miami, you're like, we vibing.
We vibing. We Irie.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Make reggae Irie. So to make that vibe, bring that vibe back.
That's what I figured. All right, so
yeah, they're going on, man. They're going to Cologne, Germany. They're going to California. They're going to Sweden. They're going to Switzerland. They're going to so many different places on this tour.
They got them dates.
Yeah, they're going all over the world. When you get a reggae hit, you can travel the world because reggae is just such worldwide
it's so worldly
music.
accepted.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's a phenomenon to me because I'd be like, damn, they almost like it more than the States.
Yeah, but you know what's so crazy to me? Looking at the way Inner Circle is, they're a group that's been in the music business and the reggae business for over 50 years. They've created hits like Bad Boys, Girl, I'm Gonna Make You Sweat, and so much other songs. But we're actually part of our Make Reggae Irie Again tour again. Mm-hmm. We're going out with a group called Iration, right? Mm-hmm. Iration is a younger group. These kids are like in their 20s, and it's like Inner Circle will be doing a couple shows with them, But then also we're going on tour with UB40, classic catalog, red wine. Yeah. And then on top of that, we're doing our own shows and we're doing festivals with Vibes Cartel and Shansia and so many other people. So look where they're at as artists. That's why I say Inner Circle is like, they're just like timeless. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna lie. These the hardest working. I'm gonna claim them, even though I'm not Jamaican. Black men that I've seen, because
they're great businessmen.
Oh my God!
In the music business and outside of the music business. So listen, the Make Reggae Irie Again tour, man, that's going to be one of the biggest reggae tours of the year. It's going to be featuring Inner Circle. It's a lot of other special guests going to be on there. They're doing a couple dates with Iration for the Irations, their own tour that we're a part of for a date. Then it's UB40. Their tour is called the Relentless Tour. That we'll be doing some dates with them also too. And then they have their own tour, Make Reggae Irie Again. So it's going to be a busy rest of the year.
Oh man,
for the bad boys of Reggae Inner Circle. Crazy.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm just the podcast producer, but I will talk my shit. A lot of you niggas ain't got world tours. Yeah. So shout out to Inner Circle, the world tour, Make Reggae Irie.
They love the reggae music because in February we just did the Reggae Month.
You did do Reggae Month. Part
of helping us.
1,000%.
And that was great. That was a whole month of events, and it transcended to now the tour Make Reggae Irie Again. So they're advocating to build up reggae music, to get it back on that level. And I'm talking about the core reggae bands, like the Inner Circle, the Third World, the Burning Spear, like the traditional, the Michael Rose.
Because you got reggae.
And then you got modern reggae.
And then you got dancehall.
Dancehall.
And then you have it's ska. Where does ska come in?
Yeah, it's got a lot of different genres of music.
Subgenres.
But modern reggae is like that's what like Iration. They're modern reggae. Revolution. They're like modern reggae. Slightly Stupid. They're like
what
modern
would you call
reggae.
Ro Marley.
Kimani?
Yeah,
that's traditional reggae. That's real. That's roots.
The man, his son got a banger.
Oh, YG. Yeah, no, YG's reggae. It's reggae.
That's reggae.
Mm-hmm. That's Bob Marley sample.
That's not modern reggae.
Modern reggae is different. It's a different. It's not totally a different audience, but it's just a new way of interpreting it in a sense. But it's all reggae music, and it's good music.
Does the instrumentation change? Or
No, it's all the same. It's really just a different culture doing it. You know what I'm saying? Generation, culture doing it, and it's not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Because modern reggae has created a huge audience for themselves.
Yeah,
they're touring more here in the States. They're merch and everything is going a lot more. They're engaging more, you know, and they're bringing reggae. And I can't, I'm no hater. They're doing a show within the circle. They're bringing us into their world and into their audience.
Yeah, can't be the haters. Y'all the forefathers.
We're the forefathers. So it's just all about working together and just understanding your niche, understanding your genre, understand who you're selling to, understand who's buying. You know what I'm saying? And with conversations like we just had with my dad, you can't help but be smarter. Yeah. Because he's gonna put you up on game. He's gonna make you understand. That's why I said when you deal in a circle, the greatest thing is knowledge. They teach you so much. You know what I'm saying? Like to their studio, man, everybody has walked through there, from the Rick Rosses to the DJ Khaled's to the Tego Calderones to everybody has Flow Rider. I mean, they sit down and conversate with my dad and uncle.
I want to give your dad flowers because his embracing being an elder statesman, embracing of technology. Does that come from you?
I kind of update him, but it's his mind. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I kind of update him. I send him things to show him what's going on, and then
because you be sending me shit.
Yeah, and then he implements it and be like, then he puts it in his brain and see how it translates to what he's doing, and at a time in the past to a time going in the future.
Then he just does the math
and just be like, like he's not an AI guy like that, but he likes it in the sense of like the more he understands it. The main thing with AI is understanding. Yeah. Because everybody feels like you can sit at home and you can just press one button and you're a star. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. And AI still takes investment. You gotta invest because you can get the regular program or get the pro program. You know what I'm saying?
You can get the pro, but it also the key takeaway for with AI input. Excuse my French, but shit in, shit out.
Yeah.
It's all about input and output. Mm-hmm. So, but you've been, I won't say low key, but like that's been a big part of your philosophy coming into 2025. It's like AI, like you've been. I'm telling you, you've been sending me shit. Like, so it's like you see it.
Yeah. It's just to figure it out more. And that's what I'm trying to do because I'm not no tech heavy person. You know what I'm saying? But I got to get into it because I got to learn. I got to learn what's coming next. Because, it's just understanding the business. And luckily, I get to be around so many people. I get to go to the radio stations. I get to go to the Sirius satellite radio stations, which is, I get to be in the marketing. I get to be concerts, shows, small concerts of 800 people, big concerts of 10,000, 15, 20,000 people. Because, we also opened our own production company called Big Sound Stage and Lighting.
Absolutely.
So we can do concerts, we could do setups, we can do
that's fire.
So many different things. Then from the Big Sound Stage and Lighting, I have under that is a Abebe Lewis marketing and branding group. So we market, we brand for you, we help you, we get you on television.
You still doing them free 15 minutes?
Yeah, joints? We do free 15-minute consultations. So the link is in my bio, and you can click the link, and we can have a little convo. You know what I'm saying? And just see what you got and see where you
qualify it, figure it.
Just figure it out. I give you some advice. I'm gonna listen to you, and I'm gonna give you some advice because I feel like touching the people is the realest thing. And I want to know what's going on in the marketplace too. And not just in Miami. I get calls from Germany. I get calls from everywhere. I get calls from Texas. I get calls from California. I get so many different calls because,
informing and astute. Like you'll give me a little tidbit and I'd be like, oh, that's what they doing. Oh, say no more. Do you think, because this is sweat equity, the original model used to be, hey, let's all tap in, spend our sweat equity, and we finna get a record deal.
Yeah.
And that record deal is going to give us this big check, and everybody going to get paid.
Yeah.
Is that still the model?
It can happen, but not as much as you hear those stories that you may hear Nelly say, these guys say back in the days. That was a time period.
Yeah.
Now, from what I'm thinking, the model is let's get it popping, and somebody will notice because they're looking. They're looking more than ever right now. They were looking before at different people and different things, but now they're looking even more.
So
because now they have the binoculars, which is Instagram, which is TikTok,
they can tap in,
which is YouTube.
See,
and listen, these labels have programs that you guys don't have. You know what I'm saying? These guys have built their own program to see if your followers are real,
if you
your streams are real or fake.
You're not tricking them.
There's no way to trick them. The bigger labels, and they know where you're going to go in 6 months.
Yeah.
By your average,
they can
unless you going to change your whole strategy.
Yeah.
But they can look what you've done for over a year to 2 years
and forecast
it because of your regular routine. That's why I don't try to stay regular. I have a routine, but I always try to update the routine to get a better result.
So let me ask you this question, sweat equity question. Stay independent or try to go major?
It's good to make partnerships. You know what I'm saying? With different upcoming labels. You may look for a label that it may not be on the Atlantic level yet or the Interscope level yet, but they're on the way. And if they can add bonuses to you and you can keep a hold of some of your stuff, you know what I'm saying? To kind of own it. So
profit share.
So it makes sense for you down the line so you can make money. You know what I'm saying? Because it's tougher to make money in the business now. You know, a lot of people are making money off shows, merchandising, and other business, not streams. But there's people that make money off streams, but a lot of those guys have high streams. You know, I mean, like 20 million a month. Do you have 20 million a month? You know what I'm saying? Do you have those different things like that? So it's just tough. You know.
Do you agree with the 1,000 count threshold?
Somewhat. But understand that I keep telling people Spotify's a tech company.
It's weird because it's like you pay for it.
Yeah. They're a tech company. They're not a record company.
You're paying your distro.
Yeah.
Spotify don't have to abide by that.
Care.
They don't get that payment.
They don't care. Yeah. They don't care. You know? They want you to work harder. They want you to, they kind of want to let you, because listen, if they have 10,000 people to 1,000 streams, that's probably some good money for them. You know what I'm saying? Because if you do 10,000 times 1,000, or let's say 10,000 times 900 streams, you know what I'm saying? And we know it's way more than 10,000 artists or that don't have 1,000 streams. It's probably fucking 20,000, 30,000.
It's
probably 100,000.
I definitely was conflicted because I'm you know, it says that there's the moral part of it, but then there's the capitalist part of it. And it's like I'm hosting all this data that is not doing nothing on my. It costs me money,
but it's extra money for them. You know what I'm saying?
The reason for them to kick...
Because if it's like that, they would have cut off. They'd be like, hey, this month we're only going to take 5,000 people on Spotify. This month we're only... So it's obviously beneficial to them. That's why they let people do it.
But even with the 1,000... Oh, so you saying like they still making profit...
Off the 1,000. Yes, they are.
Even if you don't make the 1,000, they're like, all right, yeah.
Okay, the 1,000 is $5, right? But there's over 60,000 people times 5. You know what I'm saying? And it's probably way more. It's probably 60,000 a day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's 300,000. So if they're making 300,000 off, and it's way more than that number, guys. I'm just coming up with a number times 7.
So what about?
Then that's like 2 million. Then that's 2, 4, 6. That's like almost $10 million a month.
Is it accurate to say that, let's say you got a catalog, right? You legacy. Even though I think 70% of streaming is legacy, right?
Yeah.
Probably a bad example, but you had a song that performed very well like 3 years ago, and it met the threshold of 1,000, and things dwindle. I get publishing checks. Let me tell you, they don't. they don't get bigger.
Yeah.
You know, unless you got a TikTok hit.
Yeah, or something just spikes out the blue, a sink, something, you know.
You know, so I think Spotify's policy was, you know, and I'm not coming at them, but I'm here to be objective.
Yeah.
You met monetization the year 3 years ago, and this year, okay, it was a slow year. You didn't get your 1,000 streams. That probably not likely. I'm probably talking about the bottom of the bottom. But is there a moral motivation for Spotify to say it performed? Yeah, because according to what I understand about the policy is like you have to reach 1,000
within 30 days, I think.
Streams a year.
A year.
A year.
Oh, okay.
That's the threshold. 1,000. If you don't meet that 1,000, you don't qualify for monetization on that particular copyright.
Mm.
How do you feel about that?
I think it's good because if you ain't moving it, it don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? In a sense,
you're
like
you're a cold capitalist. I like it though.
But you gotta move. It's almost like in a race. You gotta run the race. There's 5 races. The winner wins. You got first, second, third, and fourth, and fifth place, and all those different places. You got to push.
I came with compassion, and you woke me back up. And you was like, "Yeah,
you gotta push, man.
You're not marketing it."
But it's like, but it's so easy to upload. So do your due diligence. Because back in the days, it wasn't that easy to release a song. You'd have to go cut the stamper, get the vinyls pressed, cut the CDs, get the inlay, buy the things. You took it more.
Now you changed my mind. You
took
changed
it
my mind.
more serious because you're investing money before you even. Like right now, I can do an AI song and upload it to any TuneCore or any type of thing, and then what am I going to do with that song? If I'm not going to push that song, I'm just kind of creating space.
You know what?
In the air.
It just hit me. So you want to get your merch in certain stores, right?
Mm-hmm.
It has to reach certain criteria, threshold, whatever numbers. It could be Spotify's motivation to disrupt the marketplace by saying, hey, we're going to increase market value by getting rid of those who are not performing.
Yeah.
So like, meaning like if you went into, let's say you went into one of your favorite, what you like, Rostrum?
Yeah.
Where you go?
Whatever.
All right, whatever. And you saw a Kenneth David shirt in there. Yeah. How would that make you feel?
What do you mean?
Kenneth David. You don't remember Kenneth David back in the day? All right, let's say Polo Assassin.
Okay. Hey, I don't care. I wear Polo Assassin.
Hey.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I go right into the TJ Maxx and I know where to wear it too.
We gonna say this on camera? If I too wear Polos.
Ain't that fun with that? Like if I'm going somewhere, just walking
I'll fuck with you.
Like, but if I'm going to like something big, I know they're gonna watch what horse that is.
Look at that club.
You know? Because like, listen, I've been around the richest people in the world, man, and they don't dress no great way.
They very
calm. You would never even
You wouldn't even know.
Dog.
You wouldn't even know.
You would never even know.
I tell people, I be like, I say the rich people, they be bummy, man.
Because you know what? They comfortable.
Yeah.
They're comfortable in their skin. Put on a decent pair of jeans, a nice t-shirt, some nice pair of sneakers, and they start their day. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think culturally that is one of the biggest challenges for hip hop is that we got too sensationalized in terms of being flashy versus the substance? Like I was, what I love about dance, reggae, I go back to one of my favorite songs by Coffee.
Yeah, or the Toast song.
Yeah. Oh my God! I'm just like, I don't see any business. I don't see because it was all about message, and I was and do we have an affinity with toxic behavior in hip hop?
Somewhat, they like it. You know what I'm saying? Just like when we were kids, certain artists were the elders were like, oh, you can't be listening to that, and so we're trying
to be balanced.
It kind of happens the same way where you're not. Now you're like, man, what you listening to, man? What are you talking about, man? And it's just it's a tough thing to decipher, but music is such an indicator for economy, for different things.
Oh, and that's a bomb drop.
Just like the different like rap IQ. just like basketball IQ when you're playing sports. Like when I'm playing basketball, I could tell a certain player may not be the best player, but his IQ game with the passing, the boxing out, which is the simple things of, structure, which anybody can learn how to box out. You know what I'm saying? And I can box out a bigger person if I'm doing it correctly. You know what I'm
going to come up to that court.
And that's the same thing when it comes to the music. If you're doing it correctly, you're going to get a good result in what you do, even if you're doing it more from a more like a spiritual standpoint.
Okay.
Gospel is a huge market. You can make a lot of money in gospel.
Love it.
But everybody want to rap. And I get it. Everybody want to do all the things on camera and my switch, my Glock. I get it. But
DJ Cadden
when it comes to that, where's your benefit? You know what I'm saying? What are you doing? When you go do a show, you risking your life. When you go do certain things, because you're putting yourself in that bracket in that genre, which you can create a whole new genre for yourself if you want to. It could be something called bird music, where you do rapping the birds. You know what I'm saying? Because there's bird enthusiasts that be like, hey, man, I'm going to use this bird music and take it with me when I do my bird watching or when I do my... all these different things and these different components are there, but you got to think. And you got to think out the box.
Yeah, stop racing to the bottom. Yeah,
you're just gonna be another trap song.
What's the girl that she just recently she went on there and she spoke truth to power in terms of, I think it was at the Grammys. She had like the cone. Oh man, she's like she's like a Billie Eilish on steroids. But it's the cream will rise. Yeah.
It may take a little time, and you got to have a plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm an artist, I'm writing a 5-year plan. Even if I got a regular job, I'm going to start off. I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to release 5 albums this year. Okay, what's my budget? Or do I get equipment to record at home? Or do I have a studio equipment? Do I have a studio budget? Or, hey, do I record these 5 songs at my house the best way I can and take it to a bigger studio to mix it down so I can even get the opportunity and chance for the quality? The main thing you got to do is invest.
Do you think it's still a number? You remember there was like, it's $250,000 at radio. Do you think that still exists?
It exists if you want to go that route. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Because it's other routes to go too far as with the influencers and all those other things and just never knowing what's going to actually blow up at that point in time. So you got to be ready at all times. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like you want to be in shape because you never know what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? You want to prepare yourself because you don't know what's going to happen.
I think you made the contrast when we were talking about like rappers who particularly pertain to a particular sound and style, but that comes with something, right?
Yeah. So
you could go with the radio and the 250,000, but that doesn't guarantee you staying power.
That doesn't carry. You can be in and out.
Yeah.
You can be in and out. It's your effectiveness and how you think about it. A lot of people don't do the research anymore. They don't sit back and they don't think and look at it from the perspective of being the artist and then coming out of your shell and then look at it as being the consumer, right? You got to look at it both ways. Is the consumer and the guy.
I tell artists all the time when I'm doing my consultants, I'm like, you need to take the you out of the equation and think about your end user, the person that is going to receive your product, which is your music. And are you singing songs that you know would emotionally move them? Like Rod Wave to me is a outlier, right?
No.
These just don't make sense to me. You know, he's a heavy set guy and sing rap. We don't know what he's doing, but he's tapped into a way to express pain, and he's so introspective that
he's tapped into emotion.
Oh man,
he's like a singing therapist. You know what I'm saying?
Lord,
and he's
that 25,
and then he's singing what things that people are going through, and then his look not being perfect. You know what I'm saying? Helps him.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because when somebody telling you they're going through pain and it's some 6-pack pretty boy guy, not to say he didn't go through pain.
Probably got a little bit,
you know what I'm saying? But when you see Raw Wave, you like, you know, I know a lot of people talk about Raw Wave because I'm in the studio a lot, and a lot of people knew him before he actually blew up. And they were like, damn, I missed out on that because I didn't see the vision
Like where he was,
chubby singing. Like, I don't see this working, man. He's not the pretty boy 6-pack. That's why I say a lot of people missed out on Rod Wave. That's why I said if you sit back and really first harness your talent, get your talent to a certain level,
really good,
then go attack, because you are going to get noticed. You know what I'm saying? It's just how do you figure it out?
And it takes time. You were talking about Bushy.
Yeah.
Bushy's been around for a minute.
100%. I saw him the other day.
That was
had
like
dreads.
Berg's first artist.
When I saw him 5 years ago, he ain't had no dreads. He's like a pretty boy, low haircut guy. But you just never know.
It takes time.
But you got to be ready, because just in case it happens, you got to be ready to push that button yourself too. And now elevate what you're doing. Get your merch out there quick. Get your thing. So if you was already selling merch, now when the song blowing up, now you got a place to direct them to. Not 2 weeks later when the song is actually going down. Because it's like it goes up and it goes down very fast.
A lot of y'all want to rush the process, but you're not prepared for the opportunity.
Because you don't know when it's going to come. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know. But when it comes, if you got a couple things on your drop shipping thing, and then you start seeing something blow up, all of a sudden you sell 30 shirts from drop shipping. And then now you could take that order and take it to somebody that you can work along with, like a press or another place, to be like, hey, listen, man, look, I got 60 orders on this shirt.
You can show them numbers.
And I can't do it. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna work with you, but you gotta give me this much a shirt. You may gotta raise the price a little bit, or you may gotta do this, but traffic trumps all that stuff. You gotta understand your traffic. You gotta understand what's going on.
Because what you just said was show a degree of success through drop shipping. Because everybody knows the problem with drop shipping. It can take a little while.
Yeah, but 30 shirts.
Yeah.
If I bring 30 shirts to a guy who has a t-shirt press, he's gonna be like, damn 30,
you get
30
numbers.
30 times 7?
He might.
That's 240 I could make off this guy.
He might lend himself to give you a more personal drop shipping deal.
He may want to be your shipper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because then he sees you have the traffic.
I never thought about that.
And then you create partnerships. It's almost like how I use AI now. AI is like my idea starter.
Yeah.
I finish it off with maybe a real graphic person or this and that. But for the look and the concept of it, to see how I'm
the spitball and like, just
like,
kind of,
I like that. Now, if I go to a real graphic person, now he can just enhance that concept and that idea. And then on top of that, I made it easier for him. So I'm not sitting there tap dancing, telling him my concept or how I want. He already, I see it. Okay, let me change the picture. Let me get a realer looking person. Let me change the text. Let me do this and let me do that.
Because he knows the technical, he knows the language. You know, do you want a gradient? Do you want is it your grunge texture or something like that? But
man, the whole thing is that the game is changing. And it's changing when it comes to cataloging artists like Inner Circle and big artists. It's changing for young artists. It's changing for recording studios. It's changing for radio. It's changing for podcasting. It's changing so many different ways every day, from the Bitcoin dollar to this to that. And it's how you keep up. It's a lot of work, but you got to keep up. You got to do I know they say, don't scroll, don't do this, but you got to spend a little time on the platforms daily.
Study.
Just to study. Yeah. You got to spend a little time on YouTube, but then you got to know when to shut it off. But at the same time, it's the greatest learning. I've learned so much off social media in the last 5 years, 10 years. It's crazy.
Because you're intentful now.
You know what I'm saying? So like I'm looking to scroll. Yeah, I'm like, oh shit. Oh yeah, she look good. But still, I'm also like, okay, how do you learn this?
I'm still in. I mean, I'm like, that's what y'all doing?
No, okay. And then the greatest thing, you see the result of it.
Yeah.
You see the result of it. You see somebody doing a simple video with a certain amount of views. Yeah, they know all the different tricks of the trade of how to make the video a certain quality, because, Instagram follows quality and TikTok and all that stuff. So it's just figuring it out. And there's no schematic. People can say they have a schematic. They can have a routine.
Run away from them.
You know what I'm saying? They don't have, it's no way that I can say it's going to happen like this, but you can be ready. You can do all the different things. Make sure you post on all the platforms. Make sure your YouTube is good. Make sure you got the merchandise together. Make sure you also go touch the people too. And you go talk to the DJ. You go get to know the radio stations. You get to know who is who. Who's the music director? Who's the program director? What is that? Okay, who has the different Miami playlists? Who has the Miami Instagram pages? But we are an economy that moves in a certain way. So this goes out to all the pages, especially locally here in Miami, that highlight overall things. Make sure you're highlighting the right things and the right people so people know who to learn from. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they highlight people, and then you kind of fooling the people. You know what I'm saying? Saying, oh, this guy is this. Look, just look who's winning and look who's been winning. And you kind of, because you'll build a better Miami like that. You know what I'm saying? You build, because they're learning from the people that are really in the mix. You know what I'm saying? That are really doing promotion, that are really doing concerts, not somebody that knows how to really talk or somebody that they may favor.
Stop chasing hype, chase people.
Chase people and chase real results, man. Real results. Real people doing concerts, real people selling 5,000 or even 1,000 tickets. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody I met in the music industry that were significant in terms of my development, they were never the shiniest. Yeah. They weren't the loudest. They actually don't like social media. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So absolutely, I think that's a bomb drop. Stop chasing the hype. There's so much noise in the space on how to take your career to the next place, but you really need to do your deep dive, look at people's lineage, look at the time they spent, and make sure they're doing it now. Yeah. Like you're doing it now. Yeah. A lot of people are talking about they want to sell courses, but they're talking about what they did back in the day with Boyz II Men and Mariah Carey. Amazing. Great, but like you said, we're in a dynamic time. Things are changing. Like the music industry, I hate to tell y'all, is in a complete flux. Yeah. It changes.
It's crazy right now. It's crazy because you don't know.
You don't know.
And then people try to go with the trends and copy fast, but it's changing so fast that you can't even copy no more.
Yeah. Yeah,
because what you're doing may be old because you're copying an old trend.
Model. Yeah,
that's why it's good to start your own trends. You know what I'm saying? And being here and understanding. I always tell people living in Miami, we have such an advantage because we see so many cultures. We see so many things. Everything comes to us. New stadium, Messi, with the Dolphins, the Marlins, the Heat, the F1 race, the US Open, the big concerts, the Rolling Loud, the Jazz in the Gardens, it just don't stop with the opportunities that we have. But locally, with the brands that we can control, we need to start manifesting and blowing up our locals more and turning those guys into stars.
I believe that.
Because the more we do that is the more we can grow. Like we need to make an R&B star out of Miami, another young rap star.
California does it.
Very much does it.
Texas does it.
From Kendrick to all them boys.
Canada does it.
Canada does it.
New York does it.
But Miami, we need to be more structured and figure it out because economically it'll be better for us. Yeah. For the urban market, it'll be more restaurants, more urban nightlife, which is definitely falling off. We have no Cafe Iguanas no more. We have no Sobe Live. We have we have none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to Headliner Marketing Group, my boy Mike Gardner and his brother Shane. They're keeping a lot of the nightlife.
You need to bring back Santos.
You know what I'm saying? We got, Miami Live. You know what I'm saying? They still, people still talk about that all day long. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just so people talk about it because it was just it was a way to break artists and it was an entertainment-based thing.
It was
fire. Like you're having fun, but you're still seeing a new artist on stage. And that's what I want. I want Miami to have 5 or 10 new guys, 3 new R&B kids blowing up, 3 new rappers, 2 gospel singers. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Otis Kemp. Look him up, man. Otis, you doing your thing. There's a lot of young talent, but we need in Miami to create a structure. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? From the social media standpoint to the sites that bring the noticing, and then the radio station watches the site, then the satellite Sirius is watching the sites, then they're watching, and then it just domino effects. But if they don't see the support from the locals, it's going to be hard for them to even support.
Because it has to be collaboration. You go to Atlanta, they're gonna put you on the media run. Yeah. When you come here, the media run can't only be 99 Jams
and 135 Beat. That's it. We have and a couple of little sprinkler little podcasts here and there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, Drink Champs, they shot here in Miami, and I consider EFN like a local star, of course.
For sure, 1,000%.
Man, my boy Nori rep Miami. Come on, dog. But I'm just saying that's a global podcast. Yeah. It's not really like a Miami like a Miami thing where we're highlighting us. So I think, man, we should even like start one, man, like something where Miami, where we're showing the levels of all our stars here. Like I don't see a lot of people highlighting Inner Circle. You know what I'm saying? Without them, with the Music Mecca Miami and Circle House Studios, like a lot of stuff would not have been birthed. From Cash Money coming here to Khaled mixing his records there to E-Class to Rick Ross to all this. Highlight that more and let people understand where that structure came from. Highlight Ted Lucas. Highlight Trick Daddy. Highlight the Booty Bass movement and Two Live Crew. Highlight those things. And those things were paying the bills here in Miami.
Oh.
Why not highlight those things and try to figure it out? You know what I'm saying? Like, I look at that song with the DJ Nasty did is What's a Real Nigga Boogie. Like when all of them came together, that song was unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? And it's still being played. So we need more like super groups. We need like more like 4 or 3 Miami artists come together and do a quick EP and just drop it, shoot the videos. Don't think about the money because it's going to come, but think about the exposure of it. You know, think about how to enlighten those different things, you know? And then you wonder why there's no nightlife. Why is there no nightlife? Because there's no artists to supplement the nightlife locally here. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's Live, don't get me wrong, and there's clubs, but locally here in the Miami Lakes and Pembroke Pines and the real area, there's no venues. There's no venues. We can see blowing up. They hear us talking. You know?
No, we definitely. You speaking truth to power. You know, like I imagine if. You know, maybe we need to do one, man. Bring the grime old boys on.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of artists. That was a big record.
And
they
talk
did.
But
why is nobody highlighting? Like every day we should have the music pick of the day and showing the sales and showing, hey, we're all going to stream this week. We're all going to stream this artist locally out of Miami. We're going to support him.
I love that.
The vibe was good. He caught a buzz, but it didn't go through. This week we doing this guy. This week we doing that guy until we get the result and get the deal. And then once we get Miami Wave going, then the label's going to come back out here looking for that Miami music, not just to go to Rolling Loud or go to party here. They're going to look for talent here. And that's what they used to do.
You hit it on the head. Is like changing the environment where it's like, nah, it's not just come party here. You got to come here. You can party here too, but you got to do media here too.
And leave and then mess with the artists here, mess with the different things, but not from a gangster perspective. I ain't no Big U and check in and all that. None of that stuff. It's just
we not doing none of that.
It's just to make it make sense. Economically. You know what I'm saying? Economic. It used to be 4, 5, 10 different Miami urban record labels. It's not even like that no more. You know what I'm saying? These labels ain't investing. They're not doing the right things. They're not doing the poster campaigns and doing, that stuff don't make sense. It's online. Yes, it does make sense because everybody drives. I still look at posters. I still look at things. There's so many venues here that need help, and we're losing venues every day.
It's called omni marketing. There's digital marketing. But that doesn't mean that you still don't do traditional print.
1,000%.
Like, it's like, why? I still have, I got business cards in my pocket right now.
No, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
that's why I try to create so many different brands. I got my, under the Abebe Lewis Marketing and Branding Group. I got a Abebe Lewis Marketing Branding Group, Latino. I got Behind the Beats, which is my podcast where I interviewed like guys like Ball Greasy and Trina. We started this new Sweat Equity podcast to show a lot of the people that put the work here in Miami and just really to have those conversations. I got full circle moments where I had a radio show during COVID that I put some stuff on there, but I put the moments. We have Miami's Own magazine that we have. That's another brand. And it's a lot of brands, but they all work hand in hand together. Like I can take you to the studio, get you a producer, engineer, mix the song. From mixing the song and mastering the song, now I could take you with Big Sound now to go do a concert and do all that other stuff. Then from there, you create your buzz, then we can get you distribution. It's so many different things that we try to be able to maneuver and do ourselves as a full independent company. You know what I'm saying? But when I mean independent, I mean not major. We do major stuff, but we still independent. And it gives a different, like a home cooking feel than a mass cooking. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
you know, like we made this meal just for you. We tailor-made it just for you. Not to say nothing's wrong with mass cooking, but it's just, you know.
If you want a more bespoke experience where people are really trying to learn your brand, really trying to really understand like your challenges to push you to the next level, like, I mean, it could be something since you came in here and you was yelling at the top of your lungs, systems. Niggas ain't got systems. Yeah. You know, and I was just like, you don't even have no clue. Yeah. They don't have systems.
They don't have systems.
They don't have
because,
no
you know,
systems.
And I blame them, but I don't because Miami don't have a system.
Yeah.
And back in the days, you could be a young Black entrepreneur and say, hey, I'm gonna take some of my savings or do this, and I'm gonna try to get into the music business. And it was a way that they could have seen some money back. But I know a lot of the guys now, they're scared to invest.
Yeah.
Because where are they going to see the return?
It's just numbers.
Where are they going to see the turn? You know what I'm saying? The streaming is not as great. The merch is great, but it's to get to that point. It's just how are they going to see it? How are they going to, and that's the problem. And that's why I say it starts from not just the everything. It's really everything. It's the blogs. Yeah. It's the newspapers. It's how we look at it from that standpoint to make everyone else take it serious to create a business angle out of it that was there before. Created by the Two Live crew, the KC and the Sunshine Bands, the Betty Wrights, the Inner Circles, the Miami Sound Machine.
KC and the Sunshine Band from down here?
Yeah. Oh. KC, I think he lives over at Miami Lake somewhere, man. But I'm saying, look at that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Look at the infrastructure they had, the Booty Bass era. You know what I'm saying? Where they were killing it with the, you know, Loose My Money, Honey, Pick It Up.
Poison Clan.
They have so many different realms. And then Trick came, and then here comes all this other stuff. And then from there, it's just, you know, Slip and Slide came and brought it back up. But since Slip and Slide left, man, I haven't really seen
the premiere,
the label that's going to just take Miami to where it needs to go and take it, you know, it's just tough, you know. Maybe that's an era that will never come back. I don't know. You know?
Possibly. Yeah, I think that things have their moments. But I also think that it will come back around because I think Drake's Nokia hints at like that sound coming back. Yeah. And Nokia is like ringing off the charts. And I'm like, this shit might come back.
It's a different sounding song too. Because when the first time I heard it, I was like, oh. But then
it sounds like the early 2000s.
But it grows on you.
I was like, it's going to come back.
And it don't feel like a hip hop song. It feels like an everything type of song.
Baby
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know, but those are the risks and the chances. Because right away when Drake drops, and I forgot what was the other guy on the album with him with Drake? Party. They got Canada. They're gonna support. Just like Miami, we gotta support our artists.
And them niggas be his.
We gotta support our artists. We gotta buy their shirts. We gotta stream them. Everybody should have like a Miami playlist. Every Miami or Florida person should have a Miami or a Florida or a Jacksonville or Tampa, a playlist of the local artists that at least Spotify can see that you like them. You know what I'm saying? And then like it's a whole thing that people, it's crazy. It's really crazy.
Who do you think we should sit down and talk to guest-wise in terms of Miami artists?
What do you mean?
Like, let's, we talking about building a platform. Who you think we should invite for a good old powwow and break it down? And
I would say one of these motivational speakers, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, and just like just get an auditorium, invite only, and invite all the top people.
You talking about making an event.
Making an event, but not even making an event, but just at least put all the things we need to speak about from a perspective of somebody else that can speak it and they can hear it coming not from my mouth, but from somebody else's mouth, and hearing all the like, and somebody like bring some numbers up to show you like sales to then, sales to now, and then show you that economically, when the urban music ain't doing good, there's no venues doing good. Like I'm saying, it's like a whole domino effect of things. You know what I'm saying? Where it shows Atlanta's economy is amazing from the music perspective.
Studio, nightlife,
restaurant.
It's all like it all feeds itself. It's an ecosystem.
They can have a place that can be a restaurant. You get in that restaurant, you know it's packed in there. You see the locals like T.I.
That's why all of them
you
got,
see,
that's why all the artists got restaurants, right?
And I may say like, yo, I give it up to the Prince family. I can't front on Freezy. I can't front on E. I can't front on none of them. Them boys is standing up, and they're keeping this thing moving, and they putting their money where their mouth is and putting it on that level. And we need to use that more as a blueprint in a circle, as a blueprint, all these blueprints, and be like, yo, what are they doing? I want to help. I want to involve myself. What can I do? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I see Ted Lucas doing the tech thing. Help, like figure it out. Like people, like let's support and then create new stuff for us to blow. Like Cafe Iguanas help to blow up artists. Certain venues help blow up artists. Certain promoters help blow up artists.
People are less, they're more scary and less risk-taking?
Because there's no outlet and they're not seeing themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like when it was a young Ted Lucas, there was like a lot of people trying to be like a young Ted Lucas because they saw the result in what he was doing. I can't really name from the urban perspective. I can name 20 different like Spanish companies like Neon 16, my boy Lex Barrera doing amazing. I can name a bunch of new companies that in the last 10 years have really manifested into multi-million-dollar standpoint. I can't really name too many locally here in Miami that weren't already established. You know what I'm saying? Like the Slip and Slide, like the Inner Circles, like the Marley family, like all those different things who are already established. You know what I'm saying? I want to see new things and new technologies and new artists and new genres of music, like, juke R&B, like on and on and on and on and on. I think that's like an R&B song that, I'm saying, it's like a juke type of, I'm saying, even the I'm So High, all that stuff kind of like falls in that same realm, but should do a compilation. Let's I'm saying? That's
probably actually due to come back round.
Yeah.
Everything is circular. So
but it has to transcend with the blogs.
Yeah.
Because if that new artist has that good song and the blogs ain't putting it out there, you know what I'm saying? The local Miami blogs that they may have with, that's supposed to highlight the local scene, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they're not doing that. And, it's just tough. It's tough for people to see it like that when so-called the top promotion people are not doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they like, and then you want the radio who's looking at the blogs and looking at Spotify and looking at all these things, and they're not seeing that person or the city get behind them. So they're saying, why should we get behind them?
It's about taking the initiative, the motivation to push culture forward. Because I'm telling you, if you're pushing culture, the money will follow you.
No, 100%. And that's what Sweat Equity Podcast is all about. And it may not follow you tomorrow, but 2-3 years from now, you look back at it and just like your knowledge game is through the roof. Your everything game is through the roof. Hold on, y'all. I gotta pee.
So we back real quick. As you know, Sweat Equity, Abebe Lewis, Audio Jones, podcast producer. We gave him a lot of game today, dog.
A lot of game, and we ain't gonna stop, man.
You ain't crazy.
Yeah, we ain't gonna stop, man. You called me in the morning. I think mornings are the morning best time.
Is the best time. This is the best time. Any last points or anything in closing? Because I know you got a lot to do.
Yeah. Well, just, the word sweat equity, man. Always look at that. You always don't need money to be a part of something. You know what I'm saying? You just need your knowledge, your time, and your effort.
Value.
And that's value. That's so valuable. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That it may be somebody with the equipment that don't know how to use it, and you come in there and you show them how to use it with your sweat equity, and then you putting your sauce on there. T-Pain said the realest thing. He said, "Don't worry about it. Don't worry about what took me 5 minutes, what I did for you, even though I'm charging you all this money. But worry about the 20 years it took me to do this in 5 minutes."
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the sweat equity.
Just because we made it look easy,
don't mean it's easy.
As we done spent the 10,000 hours.
We spent the 10,000 hours to make it look easy for you to fix that problem or to not make that mistake or watch what we're doing, So
don't be scared to hit the link in the description, book a consult, 15 minutes?
15 minutes for free, man. I talk to you. You know, I may miss your call, but I'm definitely going to call you back or set up another appointment. But I'm going to talk to you and I'm going to give you the best knowledge that of my opinion and my experience that I've been through, you know, for your type of entrepreneurship, if it's music, if it's a brand, if it's clothing, if it's a car company, if it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Everything is strategy.
I don't mind giving out my price, but how much you cost an hour?
It just matters what it is. It could be a music thing. That's what I'm saying. With all the different genres of things we have, it could be a studio thing. It could be.
Well, I'm just talking about console. Like I'm $250.
Yeah. It just matters.
Oh, he just shitted on me.
No. 250 is good, but it just matters like what the situation is. I may hear your story and want to just put some equity in there. I may want to get down with you.
Yeah,
I may be like, man, that's gonna pop, man. This dude got a new deodorant, hip hop deodorant. Oh man, you already got the packaging, you got everything. You just need the promotion. Hey man, let me sign this little paper right here, and then let me make some calls for you, and get you a celebrity or get you an influencer. You know,
he's gonna do the work, the labor. In return, you get that % on the deal.
Yeah, but you got to have your value in it too, or what you're doing, or your expertise in that aspect. It's almost like that's why I love sports, like a basketball team. Not everybody's going to be Steph or LeBron, but you're going to have your Rodmans, you're going to have your role players. And those role players are needed so much on top of being that star player to make you a better person, but it's just everybody understanding their role and liking their role and having a leader sometimes got to step down and be like, you know what, you take the shot. Everybody's going to think I'm going to take the shot. You take the shot. I'm going to get the ball. I'm going to act like I'm going to shoot. I'm going to pass it to you because when I get the ball, they all going to rush me.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
I'm not a shooter. I'm defense. What's my boy Green? What's his name? DeMondre. What's that?
Oh, Draymond
Green.
But Draymond does defense, but it's like psychological because he already certain going to hurt you a certain way. So when you see him coming,
I'm trying to tell you how I get down.
Yeah, when you see him coming, you're like, oh my gosh, you're like and he may not even do nothing. He may just run right past you. Yeah, but it's just what he put in your brain and what you see, of his past actions.
Yeah. That's why I ain't trying to lose no weight. I like the heavy I got right now.
Yeah.
But man, this was amazing. We did this. This is number 3, y'all.
Yeah.
Sweat equity. Make sure y'all subscribe, like, comment. Make sure to go follow my guy, Abebe Lewis.
Just Google @Abebe Lewis on all platforms. I'm on Patreon. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I'm on X. I ain't on X, but you know what I'm saying? AKA Twitter. You know what I'm saying?
All right. But and go ahead, click the link, book that free consult, 15 minutes only. I'm telling you, change your life. If you're not seeing the growth in your business, trust me, this guy can either do it or knows somebody who can. He
put you on the right track. Put you on the right track. And Tyrone is an amazing podcast producer, so much equipment, so much of everything. All you gotta do is bring your vibe. Tyrone gonna bring everything else.
I'm gonna make it do what it do,
just
baby.
Bring your vibe and bring your understanding and your niche of what you're trying to do.
We gonna turn you up. We gonna make sure that you doing it in a big way. So this has been another episode of Sweat Equity. Man, we love y'all. Stay tuned. Come back again. And y'all be good out there. And do the work. Do the work. You heard? All right.
Please. But let's do a trick. I got that Trick Daddy show coming up, so I want to act like I'm talking about it.
All right, cool. Man, you've been doing a lot in at Myanmar, man. Y'all did
Angela Yee, Terrence J.
That was crazy.
Yeah, we did New Year's.
Oh my!
We've been doing a lot of really good stuff with them. That expo was really good. A lot of people learned a lot of stuff. A lot of entrepreneur and a lot of businesses were happy with that.
Hey, Myanmar looking turned up.
Yeah, Myanmar gets to the point of understanding.
It's like Fort Lauderdale now.
Yeah, they understand their residents and they understand there's an entrepreneur spirit. It's the events they do are tailor made for the residents and some of the people that don't live there too. But I like their energy. I love Myanmar's energy.
You sent me something, dog, and I said, "That's crazy."
Yeah.
Are y'all doing Trick Daddy with a orchestra?
Yep, we're doing Trick Daddy with an orchestra, dog. It's going down.
Y'all crazy.
At Miramar Cultural Center, man. We're gonna have so many surprise things happening and so many different things. It's upscale dressing, of course. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gonna have these suits
black
on,
tie,
black tie, and you know what I'm saying, dressed to impress. And you see Trick Daddy like you've never seen him before, man. Trick Daddy is a Miami legend. And we need to come out that night.
It's
and
like
represent
Philharmonic type.
Yeah, violins and cellos.
Oh, so damn it, man, be.
So, you know, imagine all those records live like that with the orchestra and Trick.
Oh, I'm going.
Trick's focused.
I'm going.
Trick's doing a great performance. And let's not talk about the surprise special guests. And tickets, I can't even tell you. Tickets only like $30. You know what I'm saying? You can't beat that for a fun night with Trick Daddy.
$30 to see Trick Daddy with the orchestra. I'm there, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, that is on the, as they say, the dead homies.
Yeah. Miramar Cultural Center, man.
Cultural Center.
May 16th. You know?
OMG. Go get those tickets.
Go get those tickets, man. Trick gonna do something. You see, this is what I'm talking about Miami. Come and represent. I need to see this on every blog spot. I need to see Trick shouldn't even have to promote. I mean, not promote, but pay for promotion. Y'all supposed to be like, oh, it's double everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Let's show Miami and let's show Trick the respect of a Miami legend.
Trick had the parts. Now he got an orchestra.
Yeah.
It's like, so tap in, man. Link in the bio. Make sure y'all go. I'm going to be there. Y'all can come. If y'all see me there, come directly to me. Holla at me.
Yeah.
You know, y'all got to book him. He ain't taking it.
Well, come through, man. Represent T-Double-D. Trick doing all his hits live with the orchestra, black tie. You know, ladies, wear your best gowns and come out there and have a good time, man.
Y'all already know what it is.
Peace.
Peace.